In 2021, during an interview, Aka Akasaka, the author behind Hoshino, was asked if killing Ai was always his intention, to which he responded, and I quote, "At first it was planned that I and the children would be active in the entertainment world for quite a long time, but when I actually started drawing, I was too strong for a manga character." What does that even mean? How do you make a character too strong for your own story? And was killing her off really the only way to take her out of the story? These are questions that have been plaguing my mind for quite some time now, but I believe I finally come to understand why this is and why it was the best choice to make. And if she is that strong, could she beat Goku though? Oshinoko has been making waves all around the internet. From its colossal first episode that led to take the top spots from Fullmetal Alchemist on my anime list, momentarily, to its incredibly catchy OP that has been topping charts outside Japan. It solidified its lead idol, Ai Hoshino, as an iconic character that will most definitely be around for decades to come. The moment she showed up on screen was the moment you instantly fell in love with her. From her perky personality and standout design, she stole the show. And the more we saw her through that first episode, the more we fell in love with her. I actually found myself so captivated by her that I low-key wished that she was a real idol just so I could support her however I could. So imagine mine and many others' heartbreak when at the end of the first episode, she dies. Real talk, I actually thought this was going to be a fake out and desperately hoped that baby Aqua was going to reveal his medical skills, save her, and expose himself as being a reincarnation of her doctor. But my heart only sank further when that time skip actually happened. It was hard to accept, but we just had to move on. I also just want to say that whoever was behind the anime's promotion and marketing deserves a raise for being able to fool the entire anime community for so damn long. Ai's death was one that not only shook her fictional world, but the real world too. She was a lightning in a bottle, and her presence was felt throughout the entire entertainment industry, quickly gaining more and more popularity as she won hearts over. The character of Ai had such an imposing presence in the anime. The moment she was on screen, your eyes would dart to her and follow her at every moment. It was captivating. But Oshinoko isn't a story about an idol rising to fame. It isn't your typical idol anime that paints this as a somewhat easy process. The main theme behind it is how dark and unfair the entertainment industry is. It goes deeper than the cliches of abuse, harassment, and being taken advantage of by those in charge, but shows just how equally depressing the struggles people in the industry go through. Like just how little idols actually make and how much they are looked down on, to even the effect social media has on the minds of them. It's shockingly real. But through it all, Ai remained the person she was, lying to the world and herself to get through it. And this is where her overwhelming power and presence comes in. Throughout the time she's alive, we see her capture the hearts of everyone she comes across. In whatever job she's given, she overperforms and steals the show, getting her into even bigger roles. I guess it's true what they say, the reward for hard work is more work. But here's the thing, people don't just instantly fawn over her for no apparent reason. She puts in the effort and we as the audience see that for ourselves. We aren't told how great she is or learn about her greatness through other people's opinions of her. We're with her through her journey to stardom, so we connect with her even more. I really love this approach to the whole story, as it could have easily started off with the time skip of Ruby and Aqua now in high school, with Ai's presence and influence on the two being told to us as the story progresses, with more and more being revealed over time, before dedicating a few episodes to Ai's story in the form of a flashback. But there's no way the story would have worked that way, as it's fundamental to the entire structure and would weaken the impact Ai had as a character. This is something that could only work for this story in particular. This is why even a decade after her death, her influence is still felt in other characters that seemingly had nothing to do with Ai. Anytime anyone talks about her, it's mostly praise. Funny enough, you see something like this in most shonen anime, where there's this big influential character that motivates the main character to be the very best like no one ever was. However, these characters only serve to pass the torch to the next generation and carry on their spirit in some way or form. Like All Might from My Hero Academia, who is praised as the #1 hero and the symbol of peace, who inspires lots of youngsters to become heroes and in some cases inadvertently creates villains too. This is even taken to a bigger extent with someone like Gold Roger, the most influential man in all of One Piece, who used his final breath to kick off a new age of piracy and drastically change the world for decades to come. These all carry on the themes their respective series are trying to convey, but Ai unfortunately never gets to pass the torch to her kids, leaving nothing but her influence behind, And it's because of that powerful influence that her children, Ruby and Aqua, are as interesting as they are now. I personally feel like if I was still around, their characters wouldn't be as fun to watch. Aqua's driving force is getting revenge and doing whatever he can to find their father. If you took that away from him, what exactly would he be doing? I could see him following the route of an actor, or maybe some behind the scenes stuff like producing and editing, giving us some insight into that side of the entertainment industry, but I don't think it would work that well or make him all that compelling. Ruby on the other hand would get shafted a lot more because, let's face it, 8 episodes in and Ruby's storyline is in the backseat with a lot more focus being on Aqua. The fact that she wants to be an idol just like I means that they might show us more on the same issues that I faced, but are able to expand on that. But even if she did become an idol while I was still around, it wouldn't make her all that different and would come off as a repeat. But as it is now, I'm excited to see where her story will lead into. Maybe somewhere along the line I would be put in the backseat to give focus to her children, but then the audience would get restless waiting for her to take center stage again. There's also the fact that there wouldn't really be much for her to do or where to take her character afterwards. This is why killing her off seemed like the most natural thing to do, as the story wouldn't be what it is if she was still around. I love Ai, but unfortunately, she had to go. Hoshino is what it is because Ai is gone, and at the same time Hoshino wouldn't be what it is if Ai was still around. It's a cool paradox now that I think about it, and makes me glad that we're getting the story we have now. So, though Ai may be gone, she'll forever live in our hearts. This has been your very favorite slice of bread. Stay toasty.